let us start this lecture 34, and we will be today discussing about turbo fan engine, and we will carry out a real cycle analysis. But before that, we will take an example in turbojet engines. If you recall, we really looked at in the last lecture how to incorporate the losses while carrying out a real cycle analysis, right. That means, we have already discussed how to really look at incorporate those losses in the ideal cycle of a turbojet engine, and then we also had carried out a parametric analysis for a very limited case. I had taken only the one Mach number 0.8 and then looked at that how this specific thrust will be different for a real cycle. And if you recall that we are getting the what you call higher specific thrust for case of real engine for the same pressure ratio and same turbine inlet temperature, same Mach number, everything remaining same, right. But whereas the TSFC, we are having higher values in case of real cycle as compared to the ideal, and we looked at other efficiencies. We found that it is basically decreasing, particularly the overall efficiency, whereas the propulsive efficiency will have a higher efficiency as compared to ideal one. So, we will now take an example of a turbojet engine, and which is flying at a flight Mach number of 0.8 and an altitude of 15 kilometer, and the pressure ratio across the compressor with the polytropic efficiency of 0.85 or 85%, right, and the pressure ratio is 12, and turbine has a polytropic efficiency 88. Keep in mind that always turbine is having higher polytropic efficiency than the compressor, right, and that is it can be clear in this example. And at the combustion chamber exit, the temperature is restricted to 1600 Kelvin, and the burner has a efficiency of 98% and total pressure ratio of 0.95. In ideal case it is 1, but in this case it is 0.95. A conversion nozzle with an isentropic efficiency of 95% is used to produce thrust, and the mechanical efficiency of this engine is assumed to be 98%. And if the total pressure recovery factor in air intake is 0.91, we need to estimate the thrust produced by the engine if it consumes 50 kg per second of air. And beside this, we can determine the specific thrust, specific fuel consumption, propulsive efficiency and thermal efficiency. Of course, the heat of combustion is given, and so also usually we will be using Cp of air as 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin, and Cp of the gas will be using 1.148 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. And keep in mind that this Cp will be using till the end of compressor, and Cpg will be using from the inlet of combustor to the nozzle, and this is for our calculation. But when you use a computer program, you can use a Cp varying in each component, right. It can be incorporated very easily, but in hand calculation it will be quite cumbersome. So, we will be restricting to these two values of Cp and gamma. Gamma, if you look at 1.4, and gamma G, that is hot portions, hotter components, will be using the 1.33. So, and I would insist that before really you carry out any analysis or any calculation, you should keep this TS or the PV diagram in mind, or I would urge you to draw that for your own clarity, because the station numbers and other things will be in properly used, otherwise you will be getting confused. So, if you look at here the TS diagram I have just shown, and 0 station 0 to 2 is nothing but your air intake, and 2 to 3 is your compressor, and station 3 to 4 is your combustion chamber, and then 4 to 5 your expansion in the turbine. It can be considered both low pressure turbine and high pressure turbine, and 5 to 9 is your the nozzle, right. So, and we can get the specific thrust in the format like which is equal to 1 plus F V 9 minus V naught plus A 9 by M naught, right, and multiplied by P 9 minus P naught in the bracket, right. So, if you look at here, of course, we need to find out this V 9, we know actually V naught because M naught is given, right, altitude is given, you can find out, we will in a moment we will do that, and we know the P naught, this is known, right, it is known, but P 9 is not known and A 9 is not known, cross sectional area of the nozzle at the nozzle exit is not given, and M naught dot is not given, mass flow rate how much is entering you really do not know, right. So, how to go about it? Of course, the F you can find out, already how to evaluate F, right, and because in ideal cycle it will be similar, if not same, and V 9 we can evaluate, right. So, let us look at how we will go about it. The V naught is very easy to determine, that is nothing but A naught which is root over gamma r T naught, and M naught. M naught is given to you, and T naught is from your altitude you will get, gamma is 1.4287 is your specific gas constant, you will get and Mach number is 0.8, you will get 236.06 meter per second, right. So, the nozzle exit velocity is to be determined, and we will go as usual like V 9 is root over 2 Cp T T 5 minus T T 9, right. If you look at this diagram, T T 5 is to be determined, but T T 4 is known, right. Can we really get this from this data, because T T 4 is given as 1600 Kelvin, am I right? Can you look at your this thing? It is given as 1600. Can I get without really looking at each point what will be pressure and temperature? Is it possible? Yes or no? Certainly no, because it is the tau T is not given. If it is tau T is given, you can get directly. So, there we need to go through each station number or component inlet and exit and find out pressure and temperature, right. And then we can get, because particularly if I want to know this T T 4, then I will have to balance this work done by the turbine, right, which will be consumed by the compressor in case of turbojet. So, that we need to look at it, and here we will be doing all those things, calculate start from the station 0 onwards and see how we will go. It is the usual procedure what we had followed for an ideal cycle, but we will be incorporating various values of the efficiencies, pressure losses as we go along, right. So, let us look at intake, air intake, total pressure and temperature at the station 2 can be evaluated as T T 2 is equal to T T naught is equal to T naught 1 plus gamma minus 1 divided by 2 m naught square. We put these values of gamma 1.4, m naught is 0.8, T naught is given, you will get 244.43 Kelvin, right, which is same as that of an ideal cycle. Let us evaluate the pressure ratio, which is even for the isentropic one can think of, right, and like if you look at this is P T naught by P naught is equal to T T naught by T naught gamma gamma minus 1. So, you can get 1.52, right, and getting this thing P T 2 is equal to P T 2 divided by P naught into P naught, you will get these values, right, but keep in mind that this will be basically P T naught kind of thing. This is basically P T naught, right, this will not be right. So, P T P R F will be 0.9, right. PRF is nothing but your PT2 by PT naught, right. So, this PT2 is nothing but PFR into PT naught, right. That will give me 15.53. Is that clear? So, the compressor, the total pressure across the compressor is given by PT3 by PT2 is 12. So, PT3 is equal to PT3 by PT2 into PT2. So, we know this thing, we know this ratio, we can directly get that values of PT3. So, using polytropy efficiency and the compressor, we can evaluate the temperature ratio, right. The temperature ratio we know PT3 by PT2. So, we know this polytropy efficiency gamma is 1.4. So, you will get this ratio 2.305, right. And when you multiply it by this TT2 with this temperature ratio across the compressor, you will get as a temperature at the exit of compressor, that is TT3 is equal to 563.53 Kelvin. What we will have to do now, basically we will have to carry out an energy balance across the combustor, and because we need to find out the fuel ratio, that means air fuel or fuel air ratio, right. So, this is basically fuel air ratio, right. F is equal to CPZ TT4 minus CPA TT3, right, and eta B delta SC minus CPZ TT4. So, if you look at this is basically, if I look at that, it is only eta B is coming into picture, otherwise it is similar to that of an ideal cycle, right. All those values we know, and then we will find out this is a quite a very low value, that is fuel air ratio, right. So, then we can determine what will be the F, because we know air flow rate entering into the engine is 50 kg per second. So, the mass flow rate of fuel will be 1.575 kg per second. So, a turbine, we need to look at it, because we need to find out TT4, and for that we will have to find out PT4. So, and PT4 is not same as the PT3, because there will be losses in your combustors, right. So, then we can find out the PT4 is equal to pi B into PT3. So, that is basically 177.11 kilopascal. In ideal cycle, it could have been same as that of PT3, that is 186.43 kilopascal, right. So, there is a difference now because of losses incurred in the combustion chamber. So, the total temperature at the exit turbine is to be evaluated, right. For that we must what you call know how much power is given to run the compressor. For that we will learn that W dot T is equal to eta m into W dot C, right. In ideal cycle eta m is equal to 1, but in this case it is having some values of I think 0.98, right. So, if you look at if I write down this turbine, this will be, this is eta m over here into turbine, right, because not all the work from the turbine will go to, and 0.98, of course, if it is eta m is 0.98, it will go, right. M dot A CPA TT3 minus TT2 is equal to eta m naught A plus m dot F CPZ TT4 minus TT4. So, from this expression we can get a relationship between TT5, which is equal to TT4 minus CPA divided by CPZ 1 over eta m 1 plus F T3 minus T2. So, we know all these values, right, and we can determine that happens to be 1323.7, right. If you look at the difference is around something 277 Kelvin difference is there, right. So, the total pressure we need to determine and we can find out, because we know this Tt5 now and Tt4 is known. So, by using the relationship, of course, for the non-isentropic case event, like because we are using the eta Pt, that is polytropic efficiency for turbine. The Pt5 by Pt4 is can be related to temperature ratio across the turbine, power to the gamma g divided by gamma g minus 1 eta. So, you can multiply these values. Keep in mind, we are using 1.33 instead of 1.4 for A, I am like what is it. So, that happens to 0.422. So, Pt5 we can determine very easily, because Pt4 is known and this is already known. So, we can get that, and for the nozzle we need to determine whether the nozzle is choked or not, right. And if you look at, we are basically considering as to be a conversion nozzle, right. And for that we need to determine the critical pressure ratio across the nozzle, right. So, what we will do, we will have to look at this expression which we had derived in the last lecture, Pt5 divided by Pc is equal to 1 over in the bracket 1 minus 1 over eta n in the bracket gamma z minus 1 divided by gamma z minus 1, then all the whole bracket power to the gamma z divided by gamma g minus 1. So, if you look at, if I will put this thing, this is happens to be 1.914, right. Of course, it may vary little bit depending on the efficiency of the nozzle, right. Generally, efficiency of the nozzle is quite higher, right, because it is the accelerating flow. So, the losses and other things will be not much, but however, if there is a suck formations, over expansion, under expansion, I am like kind of things, or there is a separation, right, due to other attachments, then or it is a kind of a thrust vectoring kind of things when you are doing. So, this kind of happen, then eta n will be different. So, if you look at, otherwise mostly it will be around 1.914, right, these values, provided eta n is 0.95, right. So, but actual pressure ratio across the nozzle with respect to ambient pressure, what it would be, that we need to determine, that is Pt5 by P naught is Pt5 we already know, P naught is given. So, we will find this 6.67. That means, is it nozzle is choked or it is not choked? It is much higher, Pt5 by P naught is higher than the Pt5 by Pc. So, therefore, nozzle is choked, right. So, the static temperature of the nozzle exit T9 becomes basically Tc, that is the critical temperature, right, that is 2 by gamma g power to Tt5. So, you will get that it is 11.34.7 Kelvin. How can you change this when the nozzle is choked, right? If it is choked, you cannot really change your mass flow rate remain constant, right. But how can you change that if you want to have, suppose a pilot wants to change that, how you will do that? There is no throat, it is a conversion nozzle. So, you will have to basically change the exit area, or you will increase the upstream pressure, right. I can change the pressure and then do that, right. Then only I can allow the more mass flow rate to go, otherwise I cannot, right. Of course, there is a several implications. Suppose it is choked and you are trying to push mass flow rate. So, what will happen? So, there is several implication of it. So, let me not get into that. So, now the static pressure, the nozzle exit pressure 9 becomes P9 is equal to Pc, and Pc by T5 into Pt5 will get 38.9 kilopascal, whereas your P naught was much lower values, right. So, the using this equation of state, you can find out the density rho 9 is equal to P9 R T9. Keep in mind, P9 is same as the Pc. It's not, P9 is not same as the P naught. Okay. as we had done in the ideal cycle. So, we can evaluate this V 9 which is nothing but root over gamma g r T c. It is independent of the upstream, right, because the Mach number is equal to 1, right. So, you know that what is the speed of sound, right. So, you can write down very easily root over gamma r T c. You need not to that expression what I wrote in the beginning, okay. That you should keep in mind, which happens to be 658.87 meter per second. So, now we need to evaluate A 9 by m naught, right. A 9 by m naught, if you look at nothing but your rho 9 V 9, V 9 you know, rho 9 you know, because you know pressure, you know the temperature, ideal gas law you can use, right. You can get that values which is happens to be 0.0127 meter square second per kg, right. Okay. So, even though you do not know the m 9 A 9 and m naught, right, you can get because you can evaluate the V 9 and the rho 9, right. That we did not discuss when we are discussing the real cycle analysis, particularly carrying out a parametric studies, right. And here, but while solving problem you need to understand this is from simply mass conservation equation. So, then we can get T s is equal to 1 plus f, f already we have evaluated into V 9 we have evaluated minus V naught plus A 9 by m naught, this portion we have already evaluated P 9 by P naught, substitute those values you will get 795.77 Newton second per kg, right. You just substitute these values you will get, right. Keep in mind that when you are doing this you need to be careful about the pressure, because it will be in SI unit, that is in kilopascal, right. So, therefore, you will have to, otherwise you will incur blunder or error in that. So, in order to estimate TSFC we can evaluate fuel air ratio, already we have done that. TSFC is equal to F divided by specific thrust. So, it happens to be 39.61 milligram Newton per second. If you look at this is in SI unit, so for milligram you will have to convert, okay. It will very small, you will have to multiply it by 1000. So, the propulsive efficiencies you will get, which is in terms of specific thrust into the flight velocity divided by this portion in the denominator, and when you substitute these values you will get 95.82%, right. And similarly, thermal efficiency you will find for this example, that is which happens to be 1 plus 14.46, because all those quantities we know. So, we can substitute those values and we can get. Now, what we will do, we will basically look at the turbofan engine, right, and we will not really carry out the same what we did, but salient features we will be looking at, and most of them will be similar to the turbojet or the turbofan which we had carried out for ideal and even the real cycle in case of turbojet. So, this is a schematic which we have already seen, but let us look at it again. It is having an air intake, that is from station 0 to 2, and 2 to 13 is your fan, and 13 to 19 is your fan nozzle, right. And what you call basically, if you look at 2 to 3 itself will be compressor for the core engine. The pressure ratio of the across the compressor into multiplied by fan ratio will give you pressure ratio due to compression, right. And 3 to 4 is your combustion chamber, and 4 to 5 is your turbine, and of course, 5 to 9 is your nozzle, right. Basically, it is 7 to 9, but this is a tailpipe which we need not to worry about, nothing is happening here. So, the processes as in the TS diagram, it is this is for the core engine, the left hand side figure, that is 0 to 2 is your what you call compression in the air intake, 2 to 3 is your compression in compressor, and 3 to 4 is heat addition, and 4 to 5 is your expansion in the turbine, and 5 to 9 is your expansion in the nozzle. Keep in mind that For the fan, it is similar one, that is basically compression in the air intake and the fan. This is basically fan portion, station 2 to 13, and expansion in the nozzle, that is 13 to the 9. So, the total thrust will be consist of two thrust, one is primary stream thrust, other is secondary stream thrust, right. So, one can think about that thrust will basically total thrust will be m dot c V 9 by minus A naught. Keep in mind that this is your primary thrust and contributed due to momentum, and is having a pressure term, that is A 9 P 9 minus P naught. Similarly, this portion is for the fan, right, that is m dot f V 19 minus V naught is for contributed due to momentum change in the nozzle, expansion due to nozzle, and the A 19 P 19 minus P naught is basically due to the pressure thrust, okay, in the fan due to expansion in the nozzle, fan nozzle basically. So, the total specific thrust you can express in terms of alpha. Alpha is nothing but your bypass ratio, which we have already defined, right, and 1 plus f V 9 divided by A naught minus m naught. M naught is basically Mach number, flight Mach number, and similarly in the case of this is your what you call pressure thrust, right, in core engine, right, and similarly for the fan. So, this is for the fan engine, and this portion is your momentum thrust, and this portion is your pressure thrust in the case of fan, pressure thrust, right. And of course, when alpha is 0, then it is nothing but your turbojet engine, right, when alpha is equal to 0, because when alpha is 0, these terms will just go away, right. So, we will just look at, by carrying out a similar analysis, we can get an expression for V 19, right, which looks to be quite big, but I have just put it so that you can see it, but we have already learned how to get this kind of thing. It is having various terms like pi n, pi t, pi v, pi c, pi d, pi r, of course, P naught by P 9, right, and this you can, if it is choked, then it will be different value, that will be P c by P 9, right, and if it is not choked, then it will be P naught is equal to P 9, that means P naught by P 9 will be 1, right. So, that is the conditions, and of course, if it is a generally conversion diversion nozzle is not being used in case of turbojet engine, but turbofan engines it is not being used, generally conversion being used. So, either it will be choked or it will be unchoked kind of thing. But in case of a turbojet engine, this P naught by P 9 will be given, provided there is a conversion nozzle, or it has to be estimated from somehow, right, whether it is over expanded or under expanded, it will be different values, right. So, similarly we can get a similar expression for V 19 by A naught, and which if you look at it is having another parameter, that is phi f, and similarly tau f, right, apart from, because the fan pressure ratio and then fan temperature ratio has to be given. So, by carrying out energy balance between the turbine, compressor and fan, you can get this expression tau t, which is equal to 1 minus 1 over eta m 1 plus f tau r divided by tau lambda into tau c minus 1 plus alpha tau f minus 1. If you look at again similar thing, when alpha is 0, right, when alpha is equal to 0, then turbojet engine, right. So, this term will go away. So, it is same as that of turbojet what we had derived earlier. So, the eta m is the mechanical efficiency, the expression for fuel air ratio will be same as that of the turbojet engine. There is nothing much change, because you are adding fuel in the core engine alone, but there might be turbofan engine where you can add some fuel. It can be possible, but generally it is not being used. I can have a combustor in the fan stream and do that. You can imagine it can be done, but generally people have not tried out that till now, to my knowledge, the best of my knowledge, right. But hence the relationship TSFC can be estimated in the similar way, F by 1 plus alpha Ts. There is not much difference between this, there is no difference at all between this expression and the ideal cycle analysis, there is no difference. Similarly, F there is a difference, but only eta b, right. Expression propulsive and thermal efficiency will be similar in nature for the ideal cycle, right, because we are using the same expression. So also thermal efficiency. So, overall efficiency is the multiplication of the propulsive efficiency and thermal efficiency. So, armed with this relationship, one can carry out parametric analysis. Keep in mind that there are several parameters one can think of, because we know all those things. We have carried out a parametric analysis for a turbofan engine by considering alpha, that is the bypass ratio, changing from various values to the 5, 0.2, then 1, and similarly fan pressure ratio can be changed. Similarly, your flight Mach number, altitude, and fan pressure, the pressure ratio across the compressor can be varied. So, if you look at more number of parameters which can be varied, and then you can play around, look at what you can get out of it, right. So, but however, we will carry out certain parametric analysis by considering the flight Mach number as 0.85, altitude as 12 kilometers for real turbo fan engine, and TT4 we are considering as 1600 Kelvin and fan pressure ratio 2, right. And we are varying here the bypass ratio from 0.5 and then 2 and 5, 3 bypass ratio we have considered, but you can vary. If you write a program, just give the values, it can calculate for you, you can see. Now, here what I have plotted is the specific thrust versus the pressure ratio across the compression. If you look at that, this dashed line is the ideal one. If I look at for the alpha is equal to 0.5, the specific thrust increases with the pressure ratio and then reaches a maximum value and then it decreases. And you will get the similar one for the real cycle analysis, only thing it attains a maximum value is much before than the ideal one, that is one difference. But most glaring difference is that it is having a lower value for the same pressure ratio. If I take this pressure ratio, this thing, it is having a lower values of the specific thrust, right, than the ideal one. And of course, it is a similar thing. If I go for the alpha is equal to 2, then again it is having similar trend, only the real cycle analysis will give you the lower specific thrust as compared to the ideal one. So, also for the alpha is equal to 5. We have seen similar trend for the turbojet engine as well, right. And why it is so? Because you need to have the more mass flow rate for the same thrust, right, then only you can get, because losses are more. So, your momentum, the velocity will be lower kind of thing. So, you need to give or allow it to have more kind of mass flow rate to the engine. But whereas, if you look at the thrust specific fuel consumptions, you will find that like in the all 3 bypass ratios 0.5, 2 and 5, this thrust specific fuel consumption is higher than the ideal one. Of course, the trend remains same, right, trend remains same in the sense like the thrust specific fuel consumption decreases with the pressure ratio across the compression, right, and it will be reaching a some minimum value somewhere depending on the, you will have to find it out. It is not very obvious from this figure, but however, when you look at the data it will be clear, right. And as I told earlier that because the losses are higher in case of a real cycle, and which we have considered, it is not that losses will not be there, but in real cycle we are considering it. So, therefore, it is expected that thrust specific fuel consumption for the same condition I mean the pressure ratio across compressor, turbine inlet temperature, fan pressure ratio, everything remains same, it is having a higher value as compared to the what you call ideal one, right. So, let us look at this propulsive efficiencies. If you look at the propulsive efficiency, I have plotted over here, right, for the alpha 0.5. If you look at the propulsive efficiency, of course, increases a little bit and then it decreases, and again it reach a minimum values and then it of course increases for alpha is equal to 5. But whereas for alpha is equal to 2, it also decreases and also reaches the minimum values. And keep in mind that the propulsive efficiency in case of real cycle is much higher as compared to the ideal one. Ideal one is a dashed line, right, and because as I told the velocity will be reduced. So, therefore, propulsive efficiency will be higher in case of a real cycle analysis, and also alpha goes on decreasing from 5 to this thing, propulsive efficiency decrease, similar trend you are getting. Whereas, for the thermal efficiency, it is with the alpha it is will be remaining same kind of things, and it is what you call it is increasing and then decreasing. And keep in mind that sorry, I think I did a mistake, like this thermal efficiency remains same, and I think for these things, and whereas the overall efficiency, if you look at these are overall efficiency, it is having similar values, alpha is equal to 0.5, 2 and 5 kind of things. So, let us look at specific thrust with the Mach number, what happens, right. Specific thrust, if you look at alpha is equal to 0.5, it is having a very higher values at the static thrust, which is Mach number 0, and it goes on changing, and you keep in mind the slope changes, particularly in transonic regimes, the slope is like this and then it is changing. The slope here it is different and here it is different, just opposite. So, as the bypass ratio decreases, the specific thrust gets decreased. I have not compared with the ideal one, but you can see this is a very interesting thing which we did not do for the ideal cycle, right. This we have done for the real cycle, and for this we have considered the fan pressure ratio across compressor 24 and fan pressure ratio across fan pressure ratio is 2 and the pressure ratio across compressor is 24, we have considered. That is for one case, but you can take for various cases and look at it how it is happening. But if you look at thrust specific fuel consumptions, you see that it is the real cycle is the solid lines, alpha is 0.5, it is increases with the Mach number, and then again it changes the slope and it increases as the Mach number goes transition regime, higher Mach number, it is the slope is very high, that means at a higher rate the thrust specific fuel consumption increases. And of course, as we increase this bypass ratio, you see the different trends you can get, right, and it is similar to that of the ideal cycle, but however ideal cycle is having a lower TSFC, which is obvious, as I told that we have not considered the losses. But the changes what is occurring here in this regime, if you look at, these are the transition region where the slopes are changing. As we are incurring the more amount of air, then naturally it is expected the transition will be more towards the when the Mach number beyond 1, right. kind of things. So, with this we will stop over, and I will take an example in the next class in the turbofan engine and look at it how we can, then we will move to the turboprop engine.